Okay, so today we're looking at Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead is probably one of my favourite maps of all time when it comes to zombies, and they did remake it. The remake, it is not as good. I don't know why, it just doesn't feel as good. But the original, I don't know, it's hard to top it sometimes. So as always, with these type of videos, we're going to be looking at the map itself, you know, what is new with the map, what features the map has, and just kind of talking about overall thoughts of the map and stuff like that to summarise. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. Again, with these older maps, this isn't my footage. I'll link, again, the channel that does post the footage in the description. Go check them out. So, things I'll be talking about might not appear in the footage, but this is the last map this is a problem for. Because after this, every single map is something I can go back to and easily record footage of, so I'm about to show more of what I'm talking about. Okay, so Mob of the Dead, Alcatraz Island, and there's a lot on this map that is unique to this map, and one key thing I think is probably more important than anything else is the afterlife system. So essentially the afterlife system works in two different ways. Either you go down and you spawn back in as a ghost, and the aim is to get back to your body and revive yourself. Think about Who's Who, but a lot better than Who's Who overall. Same kind of mechanic, but a lot better implementation. But that's not the only way to get into the afterlife mode. So around the map there are these electrical boxes that you can interact with that will shock you and essentially kill your character, and that will take you into afterlife. And using afterlife, there are a lot of different things you need to do. So perk machines need to be turned on by zapping the little power like cog next to them, as you can see next to double tap there. You also need to do it to get certain items to unlock Pack-a-Punch, which we'll get to in a moment, as well as stuff to do with the Easter egg, and just generally opening up the map as a whole. It's a very good system, it works very well. It's not too necessary to kind of like use it all the time. Like once you've kind of done everything you need to do with it, all it's really there for then is to kind of self-revive. But I like it, it's very good. Next up, the Pack-a-Punch like unlock on this map is very good. So essentially the story of the map is to try and get off the island, right? You're 4 prisoners trying to get off the island, and the kind of main thing with the Pack-a-Punch is building this plane to kind of fly off the island and escape. Obviously there's more to it than that with the actual map and the story, but essentially building this plane is how you get the Pack-a-Punch. You build the plane on top of the roof, and then you get on the plane, it eventually crashes into Golden Gate Bridge, and the Pack-a-Punch is there, and you can stay there for as long as you want. You can play the game there if you really want to, and eventually to get back to the island there's like these 4 electrical chairs set up on the bridge, and you have to sit in it to kind of get zapped back to Alcatraz. It's really cool, and I will actually leave the footage of the flight to Pack-a-Punch now so you can see.
Start it up! Start it up! It's working! It's actually fucking working! It's a strange fucking storm. Where the fuck? What is this shit? Sal? You here? Billy? What about you? Damn it.
But yeah, it's a really cool thing. It's obviously more of a visual thing to do with the story of the map, and this being where Pack-a-Punch is just really cool. And I just really like doing like the quest to build Pack-a-Punch. It's not too complicated. Like some maps do overdo it with like unlocking Pack-a-Punch. Some of them are just like, okay, there you go, it's there. Some of them require a little bit, and then some of them just kind of go a bit too over the top with unlocking it in the first place. But this one, it's kind of like the smooth middle ground. It's not too hard, it doesn't take too long, and it's quite cool to do. Okay, so weapon wise on this map, now we're going to have a kind of like the core kind of mechanics. So the wonder weapon itself I can't show you because there's no footage of it on this video, but I will eventually go back through and do like a wonder weapon kind of video on the maps to show them all off. But for this map there's kind of 2. It's the Blundergat, which is like the blunderbuss shotgun, which is very good. On the remake of this map, it's also present, and it's also really good. There's also a new variant of it, I believe, in that map, that isn't in the original. And then you got the House Retriever, which they actually do have in this footage. Now this requires a bit of a quest to get. Again, not too complicated. Basically, for people that don't know, there's like 3 Cerberus heads around the map, and you've kind of got to go up to them and kill zombies around them, and it will like feed it basically. Once all 3 are done, you kind of have to go under the map where the showers are, and this like tomahawk is just sat there, and it's very strong. It's really good at like clearing out waves later on. It's unlimited uses, so you can kind of just like train and just constantly use it. It's a very fun thing to use, and I believe the original map did have an upgrade path for it. I know the remake definitely does, but I do think the original did have an upgrade path for it as well, so you can upgrade it. Now, one thing I do want to add, just from watching this footage, and something I didn't even remember, is the death machine is actually present in the mystery box on Mob of the Dead, and you can pack-a-punch it. Now, that's very new, because obviously previously the death machine is pretty much just like a power-up, but I completely forgot the death machine was a general weapon you could use on this map. Nothing crazy, just a pretty cool change. So in terms of like special zombies on Mob of the Dead, there's not really many special zombies other than Brutus, which is like the security guard for the prison. He spawns in. He's very much like an enemy type that's been used again and again. He's been in the remake of the map. There's enemies like him as well. And if you're gonna kind of compare him to like modern zombies, think about a Mangala, but no ranged weapon. You know, so you shoot him in the head, knock his helmet off, and it makes him weaker. Like, that's my best way to describe what Brutus is like in comparison to newer zombies. Just a Mangala without a cannon, basically. Gets a lot more tanky later on, but pretty cool addition. Again, it fits the story of the map very well. I do think the story of Mob of the Dead is just incredible. Which, yeah, goes without saying. If you haven't like looked up the story for this map and know about it, definitely do so, because it's really interesting, and it's really dark as well. A lot of the zombies maps are quite dark, but this one's just a bit more like, holy shit, it's really cool. And then perks. So obviously I talked about perks in the last video, but Buried being Vulturade. Again, Black Ops 2, each map added a new perk, and some were good, some were bad, and all of them were like fantastic, other than the one they added in Mob of the Dead, and that is Electric Cherry. So Electric Cherry, again, still in modern zombies now, maybe not as a perk, but it is present in some way or another. And essentially, you reload, and electric shocks go out around you, stunning and maybe killing enemies around you. It's very useful, especially how it's with, you know, weapons that have longer reloads, just to give you that extra few seconds to get the mag in. It's a very useful perk, and I quite like it. But yeah, overall, I would say Mob of the Dead is a solid damn map. It is not one of the easiest maps in the world, I will say that. It does have its difficult moments. It's quite big, it's quite compact, especially in like the cell block areas, you know, it's quite tight. But anyone who's played it has multiple different strats of how to get high rounds. I personally like to kind of like train in the cafeteria area. It works in the original, it works in the remake, and it's done quite well for me so far. For anyone who hasn't played the original over the remake, I would really recommend trying to find a way to play the original. I think the most accessible way to play these games now is probably Xbox, because of backwards compatibility. I still play on PS3. I still have a PS3 rigged up with all the DLC installed, so when I do make these videos, I do try and play them up at the same time, because although I can't record it, it is helpful just to kind of go on, you know, play through it again, do all the stuff again, make sure I know what I'm doing, and just kind of talking about stuff that makes sense. So yeah, I still have a PS3, but the remake is fine. It does change quite a few things. It does add new areas to the map, so in a way it is kind of new, but I do recommend playing the original as well. But yeah, that's pretty much Mob of the Dead. Next up is Origins. I will have my own footage of that, because that is accessible more easily through the Zombies Chronicles and stuff like that, because that map is literally just one for one, just a visual overhaul. Same with all the Zombies Chronicles maps. And then we're moving on to Black Ops 3. Again, I did mention in my previous video that at some point I will be doing Extinction and Exo Zombies, because that is between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. I'm not sure when that'll be. I don't think I'll do them all like in order, like in a row. I'll probably just kind of do one every now and again, because I haven't played them in so long, and Extinction is a whole different thing, and Exo Zombies is just, it's good. I do enjoy it, but relearning it after not playing it for like a while is going to take some time. But yeah, Black Ops 3 is kind of my next game, so it will probably be Origins next, and then Shadows of Evil, and then through the rest of the Black Ops 3 maps as well. So yeah, Thank you all for watching. Leave your thoughts on Mob of the Dead down below in the comments. Subscribe for more zombies content, and I'll catch you all in the next one.